That's Hopsing. She has 3 legs. She doesn't come outside unsupervised because I live in the country. And there's hawks, ospreys, many things that would pick her up in an instant. She probably weighs less than 10 pounds, probably more like 8. She's 14 years old. She'll be 15 this year. And she is a good little kitty. Hey, this is Jekyll at home. Welcome to the 2026 season. And just like magic, Hopsing has vanished. And here's Rascal. Rascal's 12 this year. Hey, buddy. What you doing? It's going to be about 76 degrees. And I got the grass cut last night because we've got thunderstorms and gray skies. As soon as I finished cutting grass, all hell broke loose last night. But I wanted to kind of show you the things that are new from last season, like the studio that's now here for Jekyll Bake Company, and some of the things that have survived the winter, like this old ancient rosemary that's kind of grown into a bush now. And this is a year survivor. So I planted this in the spring of last year. It wintered over, did exceptionally well, and things are just really starting to come back to life here. The butterfly bush was super tall, and a really bad windstorm broke it in half, just about ripped the root structure. I pinned it down. This is incredibly strong, not going anywhere. I probably want to put that down a little bit deeper, and then just babied it for 2 months. And this is all new growth, and it's always good. And there is still danger of frost, but these will keep their leaves in states with mild winters. So I have a bit of everything in here. I've got spinaches, collard greens, mustard greens. This is all kale, and I'll thin all of that out. I'll take the strongest of the plants and grow them. Same with this. I think that's spinach. Did I say that already? These are fading. Man, they came up quick this year. I've got other things that have popped up that are not blooming yet, but we'll walk around. The catmint's doing great. Hopsing loves the catmint. But yeah, these little guys, this is their 3rd year. This is a false jasmine, and I think, well, I've got one bloom that's starting to fade out. It's almost gone. We'll go ahead and pull that. But they have beautiful yellow blooms. Early spring, really early spring, like before just about anything else blooms, except for these. But it's funny, these have popped up, but my daffodils are just getting started. So the, hang on, I'll tell you in a second which one this is. Oregano and thyme in here, and I did have lavender, but that died down. These are sea hollies. I've got a giant one in the back. We'll show you that in just a second. That survived. Starlink is awesome. I swear by it. And this is the kale that won't quit. I've cut it. I can't even tell you how many dozens of meals with kale last year from that. I think that's arugula that's coming back up, which is crazy. And then my mom got me creeping jennies last year, and those are coming back up. And there's mint, there's chives that are coming back up. A lot of them say that they're annual, but a lot of them are not. So there's just all kinds of stuff. The sage, wow, look at this sage, you guys. What do you think, bud? Yeah. He's a good boy. He's my little gardening buddy. He's teaching the terrier, the big T. She is, she's doing great. She's 2 years old. That's Kaya and Molly back there, kind of examining what critters pooped in the yard yesterday. I'm sure that's what she's doing. Kaya's eating grass, one of her favorite hobbies. But she's a pit bull and a Great Pyrenees mix. She's not going to get any taller, but she's got very protective attributes. She's not aggressive, except to strangers. People have found that out. Mr. Meterman, sorry. But great dogs. Molly Brown, she's doing exceptionally well. So all of the kids that you know from Jekyll Bait Company are spilling over into this. And the one missing link is Casey, who passed a couple of years ago. She lived 19 years though, and what a gift to have had that dog. Amazing miracle puppy for such a long time. And I know that Molly misses her terribly. But she's learning slowly to like Miss Thing over here. They're figuring it out, and they're doing way better than when I acquired this one. She was brought home at 12 weeks and terrorized all of us. The first whole year with her was a growing procedure for every single one of us. But let's get back into the plants. That's a little backstory. I mean, the yard, it's looking good except for the holes, and that can be attributed more to this one than the rest of them. Although Kaya's not shy to lend a hand. Anything that involves maybe pulling mice out or any of that. Right, Beans? The unsinkable Molly Brown. All these pups are rescues. She's an Arkansas rescue. Aren't you, girl? Yes. So what else is new? This is new. This is the catio. And the catio is for Hop Sing so that she can be a part of the outdoors without having to be in the outdoors unsupervised. And it does really well. Gets a little wet when it rains. You can see some of the water from last night's storm. But for the most part, it stays dry. And there's lots of plants in there for her, just inside that window. And nice space for her to just lay out, catch a sunbeam. What else is new? I'm going to plant these lilac. Yes, I know they're invasive, but boy, do they smell good. And then Mom got me these little birds that I have perched on night lights, solar lights. Or at least I did. What happened to my green bird? There it is. It must have fallen in the rain. It's like, I know I had 2 of them. That's okay. We'll just put you right back where you came from. So, this is what's going on. And this is the other part of the kale cutting that just won't die. So and these wintered. These were out here all winter, and they did well. More arugula. That stuff comes up everywhere. Whatever these little guys are, no idea, but we'll figure it out. And then more flags that I didn't even know I had. I knew I had one, but I guess they've rooted through, so I'm gonna have to transplant that. These are a couple things that I picked up at Walmart. And Walmart, I don't normally get a whole lot of plants from, except for this time of year. And these have faded, but they'll rebloom. I'll cut them back and they'll bloom and bloom and bloom. But delphinium, they do really well here. And then I have another butterfly cutting that I just stick in water. And then after a couple of weeks, you can stick it in the ground, and it does just fine. Just a few little things here and there. It looks weathered, but that's okay. I'm a little more weathered these days. All right, moving on. Got supplies down here, fairly well stacked. These are whatever I end up doing with that. Mint, and here's one of 2 of Mrs. Johnson's peach trees before Dixie Johnson passed. She was my gardening buddy. Whenever I go fishing over at her lake, she would tell me to come pick something or enjoy something. She would leave fresh asparagus on the hood of my vehicle, on the Jeep. And just what a wonderful, kind soul Dixie Johnson was. She will be missed. She passed away last year. What do you have? That's my glove. Is that my glove? Kaya, that's... Okay, trickster. She thinks she really got something. Here she goes. Yeah, she got zoomies with my glove. Well, there's the other glove. Good thing it's not the one that I really use. But I guess she was kind of trying to select what she wanted me to plant today. Today's pretty much a painting day, so we're going to jump back over to Jekyll Bait Company on that channel and do a bunch of painting. But there are some cool things, and I'll go through all of this in another video. But real quick, if you guys have not heard of Baker Creek heirloom seeds, wow, I got some of the most amazing vegetables and fruit and perennial flowers out of there last year. Love them. So yeah, we'll go through this. I've got flowers. I've got... Am I not paying enough attention to you? I'll get you. I'm gonna get you. All right, guys. How can you not love them? Enriches every day. Get a rescue dog, or in our case, get 3. So let's just real quick finish up with this. This is a raspberry, non-GMO, organic, but it's a hybrid. And what I mean by that is it's thornless, which, but you can see it's doing really, really well. Everything else that I have in the yard is thorned, but this was one of those things similar to these lilacs back here, which I need to get in the ground. But similar to these in that they came from, I think, Walmart probably. Whenever I visit Mom in Somerville, which is Georgia. If you guys don't know where I'm at these days, it's Georgia. I've been everywhere, man, says Johnny Cash. Yeah. So thornless, we'll see. I didn't get any fruit off of this last year, but I did get fruit. This is the second potting station. Put this together. This was probably one of the best value buys. It's occasionally you can get Amazon warehouse buys where maybe one screw is missing or the packaging is damaged. I bought this for $30. Originally $119. So put it together. It took a little bit longer because I needed to source some screws and bolts, but yeah, even if the hardware is missing, you can still really, you know, it's all about as much as you can recycle, at least for me. So we're getting ready for all these. This is going to be like the seed starter area. And if you guys don't know, this is a hidden secret. It's probably not hidden for most of you guys. But putting a little bit of lava rock at the bottom of whatever you're watering, like if you start something in water, this provides valuable nutrients for your whatever it is that you're propagating. So it does work. And then this is Japanese red maple, and it's starting to get some really nice leaf buds on it. The other part of the peach tree, the other seedling is back there. So this is going to get replanted today. And then the last thing I want to show you guys up here, actually next to the last thing, we'll go look at the raspberry that's up here. This is the other butterfly bush, but you can see that it wintered fine. And I just need to clip off, if I can grab it, there we go. Clip off the old blooms from last year because I didn't do that the last time they bloomed. This is a fig. I have 2 figs actually. I've got a fig tree here that needs to be planted, ground planted this year. It's big enough, should survive. And this is the other one. And these are going to go behind my fence because they do attract bees. I'm sure the deer will get them. We've got deer back there, but they'll grow high enough to where with a ladder I'll be able to get them. The deer can feast on them, and I can enjoy, after a few years, some fig product. Sunflower. I'm going to let it grow. This is a rain spout that I have planted watercress along, so we'll see how that does this year. Just a thought. We get a lot of heavy rains in the spring and summer, and when I lived in Maryland, there was a grist mill on Susquehanna State Park ground and lots of creeks, and watercress would grow wild along the drainage routes. So we'll see how that does. And then I've got some other stuff coming up. And this is a red raspberry that I got a little bit of fruit off of last year, but that's doing well, and it has vined itself and root tapped into this, which I would imagine they all will if I give them a chance. But yeah, everything's starting to come up green. Very pretty. Let's go to the back gardens and then we'll finish up the show. There is, because I'm in the country, small group of mice. She has sniffed them out. Can't blame her. As long as you don't topple the wood. This was also a value buy. Mom found these at her Walmart. You can't find a pack of wood for under $7 usually. I think Buc-ee's might have them at $6.97, but $3. And there were pallets. I didn't want to take it all. But Mom got a bunch, and then I got a bunch. And that was at her Somerville Walmart. Oh, I see that there's a glove that got dropped. Okay, on to the back. And then we'll wrap this video up. When the studio, Jekyll Bake Company, was built last fall, I moved these. They were my cauliflower, collards, mustards. I had strawberries on one of them. But I moved them because I thought that the builders that constructed this might need the space. Well, it turns out they didn't. So I'm going to have to refill, and I'm going to take the treated wood out, don't worry. But I'm going to do logs and branches and the stuff that you see in the fire pit. I just collected it there because I didn't want to be walking around it. But that's going to go in the bottom of this. And then we have made it to the first side of the raised bed. Now this is purple dead nettle, and it's one of the best early pollinators for honeybees, and I have seen honeybees all over the flippin' place. This, these are potatoes that I haven't planted. So apparently I missed a few last fall when I did the last harvest, because I was planting well into last, I think July. And then I had like a late fall, early winter crop, but I must have missed these guys. And sage, which is cool. And then this side I'm still prepping. This was the Chaos Wildflower Garden, and it's going to be the same, but look at what's come up. Carrot sprouts. Again, I'm sure I missed them last year because I had like 4 rows of carrots. I ran down, that was row 2. And 3, and then 4, and all the rest of this was wildflowers, and the wildflowers legit spread through the entire thing. So, oh, there's another one. It's another carrot sprout. So that's pretty cool. Got some random winter squashes that are just now starting to, I'm going to take the seeds from that, whatever the squirrels don't get, and plant kale. Kale. That's, you can't, I mean, that's, I could probably have a side salad off of that now. And then here's the grape. And the grape had, this is not muscadine. It is a hybrid red seedless. And again, it's a Walmart buy that was on sale. And it's supposed to be Georgia hardy. So there are some vineyards very close to me over in Ellijay, Fainting Goat being one of them. And I believe this is one of the varieties that they grow. But I'm going to use it for fruit and not for wine. I have no means nor intent on making wine, although it would be fun. But it's all food here. But it had one little sprig, and it has started to vine up. And this is only maybe a week or two old. But I'm using something called root drops that I've never tried before. They sent me a pack and said, hey, would you try? Because I'm an Amazon affiliate. And if you guys are interested in that, I'll be more than happy to drop a link, because that's crazy. That's good. And it's all organic. It's not chemical compound. And it looks like there's some seeds in here. They're just doing their thing. So lots more to do. Lots more to do. This was all gourds and squash last year. Let me back out. There we go. Can I do that? There we go. And then 3 more that I'm going to actually put those in line here and move this one. This has got a ginormous sea holly, or it looks like the roots may have spread out. So sea holly, and then I, for the life of me, cannot remember what that was. No idea. This was summer squash and zucchini last year, and I still need to prep that. But I've got strawberries coming up. I had strawberries that I told you earlier I moved. So there's that strawberry. And then I've got another little one over there. And then the blueberry bushes. Look at that. That's cool growth. Heck yeah. I'll take it. Beautiful. So these, I had some, it was the first year I planted them and didn't expect anything, and they yielded last year. They yielded a few quarts of blueberries for me, which is, I don't know how that happened. We'll just thank nature and the good Lord and hope that it continues to happen. But I've got all kinds of new growth on this red raspberry, which also was a first year last year and yielded fruit. The other one back up there in the corner, sorry for the shaky photography, I don't think that gets enough sunlight. So we're going to try and figure that out this year. But this is just backyard growing, y'all. And this is got more leaves than the other blueberry bush. Look at how pretty that is. Sorry. Isn't that beautiful? Golly. What a blessing. So that's pretty much it. That is all the news that's fit to print. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I cannot wait to spend this season in sustainable gardening with you guys. You ready for it? Let's grow. Just because I always seemingly forget to talk about the front of the house, this is what's happening out here. Not much, not a whole lot yet, but I've got lots of leaves on the rose bush. This was a bonsai that I bought via mail a long time ago, and it's creeping ground cover, which is fine, but it didn't do well inside at all. And I think that's the problem with a lot of the stuff that you get in the mail. These are plants sometimes that are not designed to be indoors. So we're going to let that come up outside. This is going to be removed from here and put in the backyard, because I definitely want it to grow, but it got out of hand, and I don't know where it came from, because there's nothing like this near the house. So and then this needs its annual spring cutting from the ground up. So that needs to be better kept. I need to top all of these and get them under control. So there's lots to be done. Mulch has gone down out here, and look at this is the yellow rose of Texas, y'all. It is always the first to say hello in the springtime. Azaleas. Mulch looks so good when it's done. This is the George Burns rose. Beautiful salmon color. a wild azalea, not one that came from the store. This little guy was broken and alongside the road in one of the parks, and it came home and it's doing okay. So it'll be curious. A lot of azaleas in the wild are white. They have white blooms or very, very light pink. I also have to get up some oak saplings. They just pop up because we live in a forest. This is a wild rose. And that has very pretty pastel pink. And then the fringe plant is doing real well. It's blooming its face off, if that makes sense. Well, it's blooming its buds off. How's that? So I will leave you with this. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you next week.